killed the last ISIS fighters in Mosul. Hundreds of people in Iraq's second largest city remain without food, without water, with many of those families who can't get out of the city trying to survive shooting and shelling. And one aid worker risking his life in heavy sniper fire to rescue a little girl. Watch. Unbelievable moments. The man who made that dramatic rescue is David Eubank. He's a former U.S. Special Forces operative turned aid worker, and he is our guest today. Thank you so much for coming in and talking with us.
Thank you.
So take us back to that moment. This was, what, a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old little girl?
Yes, ma'am. That was on June the 2nd. But before that, we'd seen ISIS steadily killing more and more and more people. And June the 1st, there was about 100 people tried to cross that road and got shot. I found at least 70 bodies, and we thought they were all dead. But in the morning of June the 2nd, we saw they were still living back up against the wall where ISIS couldn't shoot them. And so we prayed, God, help us. How do we help these people?
Yeah, and you've said that it's a Bible verse that actually made you able to run into that gunfire.
Yes, ma'am, and that's John 15:13. Greater love hath no man than this, than he lay down his life for his friends. And I thought, that little girl could be my girl. And so I prayed. The Americans and the Iraqis worked together. The Americans dropped smoke right in front of us. The Iraqis gave us a tank. And my team, a guy from Burma named Monkey, who did the filming, Sky and Ephraim, and a man from Syria, who's our translator, ran behind. And when we got to that point, it looked like you're going to die to cross from that tank out in the open. But I thought, if I die right now, my wife and kids will understand it's for the love of that girl, and that's why I did it.
And amazingly, your wife and your 3 children were there also.
Yes, ma'am. Well, my kids have all grown up with us. First, we've been 20 years in Burma. We're still working in Burma with the oppressed people there. The last 3 years, we've been in Iraq and in Syria. And my wife and kids were back at the casualty collection point about a mile behind us, where they take care of families that come in from the fighting.
And you said if other families have to live in those conditions, that you didn't see a problem with you going to those conditions and taking your family to try and rescue and help them.
No, this is what we feel God has for us, the best we can give our kids. My kids feel like it's useful. We try to keep them out of the direct fighting. But if a family's there, we can be there, because we're all worth the same amount to God, which is everything.
Now, I know the little girl, she was hiding underneath her mother. Her mother did not survive. What about the status of the little girl? How is she doing?
She's doing much better. You know, I called my wife up as soon as we got out of the kill zone. I called my wife, said, honey, go to the casualty collection point and take care of a little girl. She's not shot, but she's been under a dead mother with a dead family all around her for 2 days. So my wife took care of her after we checked her out medically. And for the next week, my wife, another Iraqi family, and General Mustafa, Iraqi general who cried when he saw her, took care of her. And then now she's in the care of General Mustafa, but she's being helped by a real good friend of mine, Victor Marks, who has a ministry to give counseling to people, and he happens to be in Erbil, in Kurdistan, part of Iraq, and he's helping her.
Well, David, thank you so much for joining us. God bless you and the group that you started. Once again, it's called the Free Burma Rangers, and people can find out more information about it online. Thank you very much for your time. And
God bless you, ma'am.
Thanks.